Hi there, this is Jordan Luker. Welcome to my presentation on drones in China. So first, let's look at what some characteristics of what drone technology is. The full name is an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV. And basically, an unmanned robot can be remotely controlled or fly autonomously using software-controlled flight plans. They use sensors and GPS systems, a lot of them do, and they either use fuel or a battery for use. A lot of them are either chargeable, or you can fill them up with fuel. Some of the more advanced ones that last longer. Cameras, so the user may knows where the drone is and how to navigate it manually as well, or the drones may use a GPS system of its own. So, current and potential users of drones, you have the military uses, and I think this one is the one that gets probably the most attention besides maybe delivery companies, as you see by this picture, military using a drone to transport supplies. You have unmanned aircraft missions, intelligence gathering, commercial uses, as I said before, delivery companies, it can be farmers, and finally, individual uses, which is recreational and photography, which I'll get into in a minute. So, some application areas for drones. One of the applications I thought was really interesting was the reduction in wildfires, especially. So, drones can be used basically to detect these wildfires or be used to track where the wildfire is heading and can be used to predict that so we can better look at how to combat the wildfires. They also are used in delivery, obviously, as I said before. I mean, think Amazon is really trying to go into drone delivery versus trucks, I think, in the future. And then finally, photography, which I thought was an interesting field, using drones sort of as an aerial photography instead of, say, the traditional method of going into a plane. And I think it could especially be used in sports now, where you see drone technology at sporting events used for a camera instead of the traditional way where you'll have a camera sort of suspended above the stadium. So, I did a SWOT analysis of DJI from China. They're a drone company from China. And first of all, their strengths, their first mover advantage, they create their own markets. The products have a reputation of being the best from Chinese companies, and they have a strong relationship with suppliers. Some weaknesses: poor public relations with external stakeholders, no interaction with customers on their drone production. Some opportunities: new markets to expand their drones to, and increasing demand for drones internationally. Finally, the threats: strict regulations of drones, privacy concerns, and finally, US China trade relations, which could be a threat to its markets here in the US. So, the mass adoption of drones will continue to become more used outside of the military. The biggest barrier to mass adoption is the cost. For many, they feel a drone is not needed for them if they're not a photographer or in that field. However, in the commercial world, drones will continue to grow exponentially, especially in agriculture and construction. Drones can be used to survey sites that take days and hours instead of days. Finally, using drones to solve SDG problems in China. In China, there are agricultural drone pilots to spray crops more efficiently and use less resources, as you see from that photo. Improve connectivity to reach hard to reach communities in China. That was from UNICEF, UN SDG 9. And finally, China has become one of the front runners in drone technology from these areas. So, the two truths and a lie: drones are only used by the military. Drones can be either controlled manually or with AI systems. And finally, drones can be used recreationally for video and photography. Number one was a lie for that one. All right, thank you so much for listening.